escape my mind. I love those memories. Now time to tell them, don't take my tree. Still music keeps on turning me from the words that hurt my soul, removing doubts from my mind. Those long days passing by from the door, like late summer days slowly fade away, finding ways through the favorite tune played all day with my eyes closed. Those long days passing by from the door, like late summer days slowly fade away, finding ways through the favorite tune, filling me with those sounds. I can't remember the smile that you gave it to me. I had a way to tell you to walk away. Still sorrow keeps on tying me, but my soul wants to get free. Let my heart loose from my chain. Those long days passing by from the door, like frail snow, they slowly disappear, finding ways through the favorite fox caught me in floaty please. Those long days passing by from the door, like frail snow, they slowly disappear, finding ways through the favorite friends, filling me with warm embrace. Those long days passing by from the door, like late summer, they slowly fade away, finding ways through the favorite tune played all day with my eyes closed. Those long days passing by from
What is up, pips? It's Thursday night, and you know what that means. It's time for the Redacted University Esports Club Dota 2 Community League. It's week 6, and if you were paying attention last week, that means week 6 is worth, excuse me, double points. And so fittingly, we got everything looking a bit doubled up here. Tonight's game modes, I thought we'd bring back some of the regularity, players want to secure those double points, so ranked all pick, a nice stable game mode, but I thought we'd also spice it up with something a bit more interesting and a little bit of all-random deathmatch, another, that's like reverse captain's mode. That's one of those more neglected Dota 2 game modes, but it should make for some interesting plays, that's for sure. If you're not familiar with all-random deathmatch, every time you die, you respawn as a different hero. So you have to adjust your item build accordingly. You have to build pretty generically good items, or, if you get lucky, you just get some unkillable hero like Timbersaw, and hey, maybe then you can build a Bloodstone. But if you die and you respawn and you're playing, Bloodstone Witch Doctor, it's not a good feeling. So that's a fun game mode for sure. We're just waiting for 2 players to get into their respective teams here. I hope everyone's enjoying the new Immortal Treasure. I know I am. I got fucking 200 levels from the rare drops today. 250, excuse me. So before today, I was at I was around here at the beginning of the day. I already had this Lunar mount, so yep, and here. And now I'm at, I'm at about 1100. So yep, about 250 levels. Not bad if I say so myself. So I've got that. I got that Aegis. That's gonna get mailed to me at some point. I got the Phoenix Immortal. Pretty nice Immortal, if I say so myself. I don't know if you guys have seen the effects on this Immortal, but looking pretty spiffy, if I say so myself. God damn.
Prepare for battle.
Has the lens flare. Looking like a goddamn Christopher Nolan film, this hero. Alright. We're just waiting on Mugetsu now. I said I was gonna show up to this week with some more anecdotes, some more time fillers, but what can I say? It's been a busy week. We're in the middle of the mid-semester break right now here at Redacted University, but unfortunately I've not been able to just spend the week relaxing. I've had a couple of assignments that I've had to do, so not the most relaxing mid-semester break, but it's better than nothing. It's better than nothing, and we get to show up on Thursday night, and we get to give out some points in the Dota League. Maybe someone's gonna run away with that first place position, or someone from lower in the leaderboard is gonna start climbing up. Anyway, that's gonna be 10 out of 10 plays in the lobby here. Game number 1 is ranked all pick. Let's get it launched. It's ranked all pick. I'm sure you're all familiar with it. It does have that small ban phase before anyone picks, so we might be seeing some of these heroes that have been running away with some of the games in recent weeks getting banned out. And let's sort out this connection failure. Is anyone able to tell me who is having trouble connecting? Looks like Mr. Meeseeks is currently finding a match, according to Dota 2. Pretty sure that's just not possible while you're in a lobby. So, not sure. Alright. I'm gonna kick Me6 from the lobby and I'm gonna invite him back. I hope that doesn't seem too mean. Alright. Hopefully we can get this sorted out relatively quickly. Looking good so far. There we go. Okay, so ranked all pick, you know, you all know it. You might not love it. It's been under a lot of changes in the last few months, especially, but it does have a preemptive ban phase before you pick. So, you know, some of these heroes that we've been seeing just kind of running away with games in the last few weeks, stuff like the anti-mage. That's the sort of stuff I might anticipate getting banned. Unfortunately, spectator mode in this game just sucks, so I guess I just don't get to see what gets banned. Stealth Soldier, so both, so the Dire team actually picking their heroes relatively early, so that, so they definitely know what they want to play. Radiant are going to take a bit longer, but if you're familiar with ranked all pick, right, you know that neither team sees each other's picks until the phase is complete. So they've just now gotten a bit of information on the other team's drafts, and now okay, so the Radiant are gone for a bit of a combo here. The Dark Willow Mars. This is one of those. Well, you know, Dark Willow, her laning is not the best, but it's a really strong team fight combination. Once Mars and Willow can both get level 6, so you know, we're gonna be looking around that 10-minute mark. They're gonna be able to start running around and getting a lot of effective skirmishes in favor of the Radiant. And it looks like they're going to be making space for an Arc Warden. This is one of those heroes that Steven, occasionally Lucky, has been playing a lot lately in his pubs. You would think after his Lone Druid performance last week that he might get turned off the micro heroes a little bit, but I think he's been practicing Arc Warden a bit more than Lone Druid, so we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Universal Healthcare for All on the Dire. Looks like it's a mid-Slark. And Gangu's going to be playing that safe lane Sven. So, Universal Healthcare, unfortunately, if he's playing the Slark into the Arc Warden, it's not a particularly favourable matchup. Like, Slark really wants to be against these melee heroes. But maybe if they put the Slark into the Mars, you know, that can go a bit better and he can get a better start going. But if you're putting the Slark into the Mars, then you run into the exact same issue with the Sven. So the Dire team is overlapping a bit in their core heroes here. It looks like it will be Slark going safe lane. Maybe it could even be like a... Okay, it's not a support Sven, right? Because we see the Quelling Blade, but maybe an offlane Sven and a mid-Timber. Unfortunately, all three of these heroes suffer the same way against Arc Warden, where they can't contest his farm. There's also a big damage disparity between Timber, especially, and Arc Warden. So Arc Warden's going to be able to, you know, farm the lane, farm the jungle, and no one's really going to be able to stop him. Perhaps when Timber gets 6, he'll be able to use the Chakram to get some kills onto the Arc Warden, find him out of position, but it doesn't take much for Arc Warden to be able to, you know, put a ward or two up. So maybe we'll need a smoke from the Lina or something in order to help secure that. Anyway, for the Radiant, it is Killer Jack on the Willow, Mr. Meeseeks on the Troll. I don't think this is a hero. Have we seen this hero at all in the league so far? Same to Mars, that Mr. Ogre is going to be piloting. Starting with that Ring of Protection. That's a good way to deal with the right clicks from the Slark. Occasionally Lucky on the Arc Warden, as we've established. Mugetsu on his, at this point, famous Earthshaker. This man loves the Earthshaker. Healthcare for All on the Slark, Stealth Soldier on the Lina, Gangu on the Sven, Addy Sim on the mid, Timber and Antichrist on the 5, Skyrift Mage going for that level 1 concussive shot. That is a pretty early use of the Sal from Universal Healthcare. This is one of those things that can have a much bigger impact on the lane than an inexperienced carry player might think. First of all, it's 110 gold down the drain, but he didn't even really get the full use out of it, so this could be an advantage for Mr. Ogre and Killer Jack to push. It seems like they're definitely ahead in regen. Antichrist though, he's looking like he's going to want to be spamming out a lot of spells. He does start with 4 clarity, so level 2 going to be a big power spike on the Skyraf because he's going to just be able to throw out all his mana at once and he's going to be able to start popping those clarities. Bottom lane, this Earthshaker position 5 can be a bit greedy, but with a hero like Troll Warlord, who's just such a strong laner and can like jungle early quite effectively, I'm quite a fan of it. Especially against a hero like Lina, who's not the fastest level 1, doesn't have the biggest health pool. If this Sven isn't committed to protecting his Lina, you know, the Radiant team could see a couple key pickoffs in this lane. As a Troll Warlord player myself, I'd also like to see Mr. Meeseeks go for a Battle Fury build this game. Troll Warlord can outscale the Slark. I think that's the advantage of Battle Fury. It's like, I want to outscale the enemy carry. I think Troll Warlord is capable of that. Especially with a hero like Earthshaker. The hero is capable of, you know, stun locking a Slark. Makes it harder for him to get Dark Pact off. Although as I say that, occasionally Lucky, low in the mid lane, is gonna give a first blood away to Addy Sim. And now he can, oh, look at this XP advantage already. It's going to be a level and a half by the time occasionally Lucky can get back to lane. I was about to say that, you know, I know I was talking about Battle Fury on the Troll Warlord, but actually not an ideal build when you have an Arc Ward on your team. Definitely a factor I forgot to consider. So maybe we'll see another farming item that requires a bit less of a net worth commitment, like a Maelstrom. Something that can allow Meeseeks to fight and to farm. Doing pretty well on the CS here. Universal Healthcare for All is at the top of the CS. But Addy Sim, he's going to be on top of the net worth with that first blood. Doesn't get the range creep denied. Occasionally Lucky, doing a good job. I like that Spark Wraith placement because it's a 50-50 where either you secure the range creep for yourself or you get quite a lot of magic damage onto the Timber. Timber also going for that early Soul Ring, but he's not really in a position where he can keep his HP high enough to be able to effectively use it. Perhaps the money could have gone into something like, you know, a bottle or even just like a Sage's Mask. That would be generally more effective for a laning scenario like this. Ooh, Antichrist does get level 2. In fact, he gets level 3, but he's still not spec'd into Arcane Bolt. Despite starting with 4 clarities, he's using these spells that are a bit more lenient on the mana, interestingly enough. An unfortunate wasted Shadow Realm from Killer Jack, but that's alright. Oh jeez, we're seeing an XP advantage mid lane for Addy Sim, but also one bottom lane for Meeseeks as he's a fair bit ahead of this Sven. And Sven, not a hero that can really deal with what Troll Warlord wants to do in this lane, where Sven's just not really capable of applying any pressure onto Troll Warlord with the Whirling Axes. That's why I'd like to see Gangu go for a more Warcry-centric build. That's gonna give his team the ability to deal with what Troll Warlord wants to do. It's gonna give his team all that move speed and armor, make him effective at running down at this Troll Warlord, not give him a chance to pop off that ulti or anything of the sort. Mars fallen a bit behind in CS of the Slark, but this is why they've got the Slark. It's a favorable lane into the Mars. Similar story to Addy Sim in the mid lane where he's going for that Soul Ring, but he's not going to be in a position where he can use it for the mana. He'd be better off just buying Mangoes or Ring of Basilius. Ring of Basilius goes into Vladimir's offering, which is, you know, a pretty typical Mars item. A jump onto Mr. Ogre from Universal Healthcare. They do have the damage for it. I was going to say the Dark Pact was a bit premature, but Mr. Ogre actually didn't have mana for Spear of Mars, so there was no way he could have gotten stunned. But it would have been a bit faster with an Arcane Bolt from Antichrist. So it's not the difference maker there, but I feel like this skill build, we could see the repercussions of it coming up in an engagement soon. Top lane, they're actually going to get another kill onto Killer Jack, just with another Pounce Seal combo. Ancient Seal. I almost said Mystic Seal.
Sorry.
That's one of the nice things about Pounce. You can hit Dark Willow through Shadow Realm. Sark's one of the good heroes against Dark Willow. It can be tough to hit her through Shadow Realm, but you can purge off like everything she's got, right? So none of her lockdown really threatens you. And you can do it on reaction. It's not like if you get fissured from an Earthshaker out of vision and then blinked on, where you can't Dark Pact it off. A Dark Willow casts a spell on you, and you can just react. That's the kind of spells that Slark loves to play into, and occasionally, like with that level 6, he's going to be able to get the double Spark Wraiths onto Sim for the kill. So perhaps that early lead, yeah, being nullified pretty heavily now. Not just in terms of gold, but also in terms of XP, and occasionally Lucky's getting close to a Midas. And it feels really bad when you're playing a hero like, excuse me, bottom lane. Garg 69 getting pretty low, but the Radiant have run out of lockdown. So it feels pretty bad when you're playing a hero like this Timbersaw, and this Arc Warden feels comfortable building a Midas without any of these smaller items like, you know, even just boots. Sure, he's got a couple of Wraith Bands, but, I mean, if you're playing a hero that has a better matchup into the Arc Warden, you know, you can put that pressure on him and make him feel as if he has to go for something like the boots before that Midas. And now, the Tempest doubles back off cooldown, the double Flux comes out, but there's a big creep wave. Occasionally Lucky needs to get away from the creep wave so the Flux can actually take into effect. Mugetsu will TP mid, but it won't be in time to save the life of his mid laner. Occasionally Lucky, I think that's a really overly... Jeez, Sim actually getting killed to Mugetsu too, but I think that's a really it's a really greedy dive from Sim that you can actually factor into the way you play. If you drag your hero up here, the creeps aren't going to chase you far enough, and you're going to be far away enough that the Flux will go into effect, and the Spark Race will be like guaranteed, right? No Spark Race is going to go 50-50 between Timber and a creep. That almost comes back to what we were talking about last week about effective spell casting. And now Sim's taking this medium camp from Lucky actually, and geez, look how the XP, he was behind on XP and then he just jumps right back up after those 2 kills. He's level 9 at 8.5 minutes on Sim, and he's in a position now where with max reactive armor, he's totally able to use this Soul Ring to the effect of even getting a kill onto Mugetsu there. So this hero, they don't have many tools to deal with a Timbersaw this game. The most magic burst they have is probably coming from Killer Jack. Mr. Omega jumped on top by the Slug Pounce. And when you position yourself too aggressively against the Slark, the fact that you're laning with a Dark Willow means that there's like you're all alone. Even if you're not alone. Alright. What happened here? It looks like he got maybe sniped by a Spark Wraith after using Soul Ring. An interesting way to die, but that's okay. So when you're playing a hero like Mars with a Dark Willow against this Slark, and you walk too far into the lane and you get pounced, you're all alone. Even if you're not alone, there's nothing your Dark Willow can do to help you, unfortunately. Universal Health Case, he's got that power treads, he's got that Wraith Band, so he's got enough attack speed to really build those stacks up. They're moving on to Killer Jack now, and they're gonna get the pounce off. The spear back will come out, but there is another concussive shot, and Antichrist is positioning in a way where he's gonna try and guarantee that it hits Killer Jack specifically. What spell is this? A Cursed Crown is gonna ensure that the Radiant Heroes get away. Mugetsu now, ooh, he was going for this bouncy rune, and he does get it, but he will pay for it with his life. Economically, this is worth it. 60 times 5 is more than 209. but it does give another little influx of XP onto the Timbersaw, who is going to now Timber Chain onto Occasionally Lucky. Does miss a second Timber Chain. He's now out of infused raindrops as well, but Occasionally Lucky's out of mana. So we're not going to see any kill result from that. I mean, yeah, you're playing against a Timbersaw, Lucky. You're going to have to put that mango tree in a better hidden spot, and wow, that skirmish just came right down to the wire. The planting of the mango tree, it does get killed instantly, but it does give Lucky enough mana to get the Spark Wraith, you know, on himself and on his clone. And that's the difference maker. You know, even if he's going to be depriving his Mars of mangoes a little bit. Speaking of Mars, an arena comes out top with a rotation from Mugetsu, but Antichrist is going to get the Mystic Flare out before he dies, and that's going to allow Universal Healthcare to clean up on Mr. Ogre and Mugetsu, and this Slark is getting pretty big, you know. He is, wow, not as big as this Arc Warden and Troll Warlord, though. I know I said this Troll hero, you know, this Fen hero can't really do anything as the Troll, but I didn't expect it to allow the Troll to just get this far ahead. Props to Mr. Meeseeks for taking proper advantage of the conditions that his hero is in. Even farming the camps while the lane is pushed in. Doing a good job there. Occasionally Lucky has a Midas, so I mean his farm's obviously going to be just ramping constantly. And it's going to be up to the Dire team to, you know, create pressure and stop this Arc Warden from getting six slotted. A good Fisher from Mugetsu is going to block Stealth Soldier off from the lower path here. Now, Mr. Meeseeks, he is chasing with the Phase Boots. He doesn't get a root off while in Berserker's Rage, but he does have another ranged Whirling Axes. He's going to run in. Stealth Soldier, another Light Strike Array does come out, but here comes another Fisher from Mugetsu under the tier 2 tower. He can salve. Alright, he's going to salve. Well done. Occasionally Lucky actually does drop low to the Adisim and Gangu and Antichrist on the bottom. Mystic Flare was committed for that, but he's going to get out on barely any HP with a haste rune there. Adisim will get 240 gold for killing the clone though, so you know that's pretty much equivalent to just getting a kill. Mr. Meeseeks, wow, bottom getting another kill, this time onto Gangu, popping the Berserker's Rage for that. So usually the lifesteal from Berserker's Rage isn't that good level 1, but with the Morbid Mask on top of that, it's quite good. This is where Adisim comes in, this Timbersaw, the Radiant don't have many tools for him. You know, what's Mr. Meeseeks gonna do? First of all, he has no ulti, but even if he did have an ulti, you're gonna ulti a Timbersaw? I don't think so. So Adisim, as we see, is gonna be one of the key factors in whether or not they can put enough pressure on the map to not allow this Arc Warden to be able to roam free. The second factor, of course, is the Slark, who has a relatively good matchup into the Arc Warden. Because Slark's a melee hero, he doesn't struggle with the magnetic field like ranged heroes do. And items like Shadow Blade, you know, will allow you to take the Arc Warden by surprise in a position that, by all means, he should feel safe in. And now Mystic Flare bottom onto Mugetsu, that's going to be a pretty easy one. Max Concussive Shot is a pretty big slow. And Mugetsu actually only has Arcane Boots rather than Tranquil, so he's a bit slower than your average Earthshaker. Terrorized from Killer Jack here as Mr. Meeseeks TP's in. He doesn't have a Berserker's Rage, so he will get taken down, but it is in exchange for the life of Adisim. Killer Jack getting a pretty nice bit of XP for that. Mr. Ogre, level 7, he doesn't want to commit the arena for that, surprisingly enough. All the while, this is leaving Universal Healthcare to free farm top, but it's also leaving Occasionally Lucky to free farm mid, where he's got a Maelstrom already, so he's just going to keep getting further and further ahead. Unless something can be done about this. Universal Healthcare wants to go for a Diffusal. That's an item that's come out of fashion a little bit on the Slark ever since Echo Saber was changed to build into Silver Edge. And since Drums also got buffed. Oh wow, an Echo Slam. Let's go for Mugetsu. Mugetsu, unfortunately, he stacks the Aftershock stuns a little bit. So I think if he spaced the Echo Slam out to be a bit, you know, like half a second more after when he did cast it, there actually was potential for Universal Healthcare to just get stun locked and die there. Bottom lane, Mr. Ogre isn't going to go down without pressing Arena. Mr. Meeseeks here too. Not quite with the level 2 ulti, but he will use the level 1 rage to take down Stealth Soldier. And now Eddie Sim, actually really low on reactive armor charges, is going to die for a 5th time. Turns out everything I said about how Troll Warlord interacts with Timbersaw goes down the drain if you're not preemptively making sure you have reactive armor stacks. And check out Mr. Meeseeks with the Yasha, almost the full S and Y. Gonna be pretty valuable here. And occasionally Lucky getting a pick off middle lane onto Gangu. Perhaps the level 1 Warcry isn't enough. Only 6 armor. You know, not good enough to help. And perhaps Gangu needs to be playing more of a free position rather than a 1 position from the offlane. This Echo Saber, as good as it can be for bursting down heroes with God Strength in team fights, it's also, you know, partially a farming item in combination with the Great Cleave. For free position Sven, you know, you're typically looking for more of a Drums of Endurance type build where you're not playing as if you're the win condition, but and this Echo Saber item and the lack of levels in Warcry mean that this Sven is not going to be very good at fighting. Killer Jack's gonna try and throw out the, oh my god, people are dying all over the map while I'm trying to talk about what's going to be happening over the course of the game. But geez, Eddie Sim dying again, and it looks like, you know, most of these kills are going toward the Radiant, who by all means don't have capabilities to fight as well as the Dire at a timing like this, especially with the lack of arenas that we've been seeing from the Mars so far. Universal Healthcare. The Fisher is on cooldown from Migetsu. Yep, feel free to keep chasing. The spell of Migetsu's are most effective at locking you down is on cooldown. He won't quite get the kill because he's committing Dark Pact for damage rather than, you know, avoiding the Aftershock procs. But, you know, just to send Mugetsu back to lane is at least having some impact. Mr. Meeseeks getting another kill on Stealth Soldier and Eddie Sim bottom. Unfortunately, Eddie Sim just respawning and immediately dying again. And occasionally Lucky, I failed to point out earlier that he has a full Mjolnir. In fact, he's almost at the full bits of travel now. He is way more farmed than he should be. He has just had complete free reign of the map. This is usually the kind of net worth you might see at like 20, 21 minutes rather than 18. For a lot of players, that might seem small, but when it comes down to item timings, you know, it's only 1 to 2 minutes that make the difference in terms of relative strength between opposing heroes. Antichrist looks like he wants to defend this bottom tower, but Meeseeks, I was going to say he still has the further stacks built up for when he's hitting it before, but he hit a creep, so never mind. Anyway, we'll get taken down with a rotation from Occasionally Lucky, who is getting BOTs delivered on the courier and already has another 320 gold. This man is fucking ballin' in the house right now. Goddamn fucking Jeff Bezos for the Radiant. He doesn't even have that that shoulder immortal. So pretty poor form coming out, but oh my, I didn't even see that he's level 18. For an Arc Warden to already have maxed out Tempest double 90 minutes into the game is pretty scary. Things are looking bleak for the Dire here as the Radiant are getting away with murder. I mean, there is a level 18 Arc Warden in the game with boosted travels. He's just going to be farming like no other hero. And Dire don't really have the capabilities to stop him. Eddie Sim again being gone on by the Dark Wheel and the Troll Warlord. Just not enough reactive armor in order to be able to save himself. Universal Healthcare will get the pick onto the Dark Willow, but he's popped his ultimate, he's popped the Dark Pact, and he will get picked off in return, unfortunately. With Adisim dying, universal healthcare is kind of the last. Jeez, look at just how much damage these Mjolnir pucks do. Man,
Dire's top tower is under attack.
this is getting hard to watch.
Unstoppable.
Antichrist, bio raindrops.
Double kill.
Unfortunate. Dire taking the first tier 2 tower now at the 21-minute mark. This top outpost is now available for the taking.
Triple kill.
Tier 2 towers in this patch are a big indicator of which team is running away with the game, and for a team to take a tier 2 tower at 20 minutes is always a major sign that there's a big lead. Obviously, though, I'm not even mentioning the 10k gold lead that we can see right now. So Dire not even taking Radiant, not even taking advantage of the full capacity of the lead that they hold right now, where they've got all this gold and they've not even taken you know, that big bit of map control that they've got open to them yet. They can, in fact, with Arc Warden, they can control all 3 lanes. Really just such a big threat right now. And he's going for a sheep stick, so it looks like that's how he wants to go about locking down this Slark. I know Lion Hex isn't affected by Dark Pact, but I'm not sure about Cypher Vise, and by extension I'm not sure about Shadow Shaman Hex. Dispellable by strong dispels.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
This is a strong dispel, but maybe Lions is just undispellable. Meesix is taking Roshan. This is dispellable by strong dispel. It's just one of those weird exceptions that Dota makes that we might have to test after the game is done, but Mr. Meesix with the DD rune on the Troll Warlord, already a hero, good enough at doing Roshan between Whirling Axes and Fervor, but to add a DD rune on top of that is to just annihilate Roshan, and the Aegis goes into the hands of Occasionally Lucky, who also has a Grove Bow now, easily one of the better items on the Arc Warden. I don't think he is, jeez, he's just barely standing in that magnetic field. Addison does get bottom lane pushed in though. Interesting, we're going for a Kaya Sanj. So perhaps that's why he's been a bit vulnerable to these pickoffs, is because he's not building into what you typically see in a Timber with items like Lotus Orb and such. I say if I'm playing against an Arc Warden and a Dark Willow, Lotus Orb especially is quite valuable. Arc Warden also likes to build into Bloodthorn, so you're kind of future-proofing yourself in a way as well. And Occasionally Lucky, I think he may have mistaken his main hero for the clone, but unfortunately, like a coordination for the Dire means that the Mystic Flare isn't going to be accompanied by any disable, so the damage coming out onto Occasionally Lucky is pretty minimal. And he does have a Hex coming on the courier now, in fact he's got it. Might as well go high ground, fellas. It's not like Dire are able to split push. You send a clone bottom and you push it up to the tier 2 tower, and Dire are just going to be cramped inside their base. Adisim, he doesn't have any reactive armor charges built up, and now the Timber Chain is on cooldown. He's gonna die. This is... I'm sure anyone watching is not used to seeing a Timber Store die this quick, unfortunately. And a well-placed Fisher from Megetsu is gonna get the kill onto Stealth Soldier as well. So a big opening now for the raiding heroes to take high ground. I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing some buybacks from the Dire in something of a last-ditch effort to save their Axia. And now Mr. Ogre not aware that Slark can pounce out of Arena. You know, just another one of the factors that make it a good matchup for the Slark, but, you know, now he knows.
Dire's middle barracks has
Did someone ping tier 4s? Am I insane? I hope they don't push tier 4s. You can go top, I think, but tier 4s is a bit optimistic. In fact, Arc Warden is going to TP top, so, I mean, they have immediate vision of him here. They really need to take advantage of the fact that they're outnumbering the Radiant heroes right now, Dire. But Slark, he's been pinned against the Ancient and he's dropped low. he will get the kill onto Mr. Ogre, so now Killer Jack's stranded in the middle of the Radiant group. Even getting a stun onto Meeseeks there, but an Arc Warden clone's been TP'd in. Will die to a Mystic Flare. But yeah, that's the danger of showing yourself in a lane like that, Lucky, is the Dire team can immediately identify that they're outnumbering your team. So when you TP away from a push like that, you need to think a lot more critically about the way you TP. That's not just advice for Lucky, that's advice for all of you out there who I know have TP'd away from your team at some point in your Dota careers and made your team feed unknowingly. Meeseeks now has a 10-second BKB. He actually had it before. He had it when he was doing Roche, but he just didn't even need to pop it in those last couple of engagements. Good news for the Dire is we do see Halberd coming out from Sven. Unfortunately, Halberd not the best item against Arc Warden because, you know, it's single target. Definitely good against Troll Warlord though, but oh man, he's got so much HP that we're not in a position where Heaven's Halberd gives you a long enough time window in order to pick off this Troll Warlord. Unfortunately. Between the Satanic and the Sanjin Yasha, not only is he stacked on HP, but he's got status resistance as well. So Heaven's Halberd's going to be down from a 3 second on melee duration to closer to 1.6 seconds. It's a 40% total status resistance between these two items. So, I guess it considers Troll ranged only when he's in ranged form, yeah. Even though Troll is technically a ranged hero, even when he's in melee form, I guess I would assume it still only disables for 3 seconds. Anyway, Radiant looking like they want to push, and Dire outside the base, farming Ancients. Aegis does expire, but I don't think that's any reason to be afraid. In fact, Enchanted Quiver is a great pickup for the Arc Warden here, but perhaps Radiant want to take just 30 seconds to just farm the Radiant and Dire Ancients, just so they can get the rest of their tier for neutral items. Just try and force out, you know, any sort of lead you can, whether it's, you know, in more gold, more map control, or even in just neutral items. Another Mystic Flare onto an Arc Warden clone. I mean, you could have moved that out of there, occasionally Lucky. You don't have to just throw away that gold. Arc Warden clones are worth a lot. Mr. Meeseeks popping the BKB here, not quite committing the ultimate, and Echo Slam onto 2 is going to be able to get the Slark. Addy Sim now gone on by Mr. Meeseeks, who has popped that Battle Trance. Universal Healthcare with his buyback will get a kill onto Migetsu. And now he's going to pounce onto Mr. Ogre, but he's lacking an ultimate, although he does get speared away by Mr. Ogre, saving his life. Addy Sim now does get the kill onto Mr. Meeseeks with the help of Antichrist, but he will get taken down by Occasional Lucky. Universal Healthcare, after healing back up in the fountain, will run back in to the face of the Arc Warden, but I mean, this man is just going on a tear. He's level 25 in 29 minutes. He's practically just 1v5ing at this point. Mystic Flare. He does get taken down. So, Occasionally Lucky, well, part of it is bad calculations, underestimating the amount of damage that Antichrist is capable of. Look how much XP he just got, by the way. He just reached level 20 after killing Occasionally Lucky. This is a POS 5 Skywrath mage, who's now level 21. So part of that is just a lack of calculations from Occasionally Lucky, but part of it is just forgetting that he has Satanic. If he turns around and he just hits Antichrist once, he doesn't die. So Dire, you know, getting themselves a bit of an opening to reach another power spike. Part of that is definitely going to be XP based, as the Slark and the Skywrath Mage especially get a big infusion of XP. In fact, the Skywrath Mage is the highest level on the entire Dire lineup right now, despite being POS 5. And on top of an opportunity to reach power spikes, including the BKB for the Slark, there's also an opportunity for the Dire heroes to get more vision up. We've only got this Observer Ward, it seems like. So, typically in situations like this, Vision of the Runes can be really good. Vision of the Rune spots because, runes like double damage are big difference makers. And Roshan not respawning for another minute, unfortunately. So not going to be able to take advantage of that DD to get the Roshan. But, yeah. Runes like DD, especially on a hero like Slark or Haste or Invis, they just allow for that extra bit of a play where there might not have been one before. Radiant are attempting to contest Dire here in their attempt to take back the outpost. Occasionally Lucky now will reach the Dire heroes. And, I mean, there's not much to say except just the fact that, first of all, there's a vision advantage, but just the fact that the net worth advantage is such that these Dire heroes are just so squishy in the face of the Radiant lineup. All it takes is for occasionally Lucky to just walk up. I mean, you saw it. All he did was walk up. He wasn't in a particularly flashy position. You know, he didn't use any, like, special techniques with the clone. All he does is walk up. Jeez, how come he's not lifestealing very much there with the Satanic? It's not like there are any effects on the Dire that are reducing healing, like an Eye of Skadi. It didn't look like he was healing very much when he was hitting Universal Healthcare on the Slark. Maybe he was hitting a building by mistake. Anyway, Universal Healthcare is going to get picked off, and that's going to be it. I mean, that's a dieback from so many heroes at this point. So the GG does come out from the Dire heroes. Maybe we'll see one more kill before the game ends. We do, just barely, so. Pretty interesting showing. I think that's the first Arc Warden we've seen in the league thus far. No, occasionally Lucky played it in week 3, in another ranked all-pick game. And I was playing in that. I was playing Faceless Void and I beat his Arc Warden. So occasionally Lucky pulling out the Arc Warden a second time, now getting a win on it. Congratulations to the Radiant heroes who just won 2 points each. 2 points might not sound like a lot to a lot of people, but considering that, just consider that it's just like a percentage perspective, right? It's doubling, you know? When you think about it as twice as many points rather than just, +1, it's like, okay, double is a lot. Double is a lot. Anyway, guys, I'm going to make the second lobby. You're all aware of this point that Game 2 is going to be a special one. We're pulling out the all-random deathmatch. The lobby is up. If you guys are watching the stream, and I'm going to put the teams for Game 2 into Discord. There we go. I had them pre-prepared. So, everything's ready for you guys. Alright, let's take a look at, so it actually took a while for the net worth to really spike, but when it did, it really did, right? This is like a 5-minute time frame where they're building up a 20k lead. That's a really short amount of time to build up a 10k net worth lead. But we can see, just based on the win probability here, that there's definitely something in these heroes that gives them just a statistical advantage against these heroes. And a lot of it is probably Arc Warden. That's one of those heroes that Dota Plus really favors in terms of win probability, similarly to Spectre, just because it's a hero that's really difficult to close the game out against, right? And it's one of those ultra late game carries that Dota Plus is always really fond of when calculating win probability. If we have a look at the damage, we can see that, this is absurd, right? This is absurd. He did so much more damage than anyone else. Even his Dark Willow, who, is a hero that is no slouch when it comes to damage. Bedlam is 175 times 20? 25. 175 times 25 magic damage? That's a lot, fellas. What else are we looking at here? Is there a way to see? God, 826 GPM. So, if we look at the net worth, I mean, just doubling the Slark's net worth there, right? But what I'd like to see in game 2 is, first of all, I want to see a bit more educated use of spells, right? I don't want to. I want to see. I want to see grouping up early on. I guess that'll be encouraged by the all-random deathmatch game mode, but I think what we could have seen from the Dire is if we had like a Drums of Endurance on most likely the Sven, that gives your Slark and your Lena especially that opens up for them the opportunity to go 4 or 5 man early, and that's what allows them to put pressure on this Arc Warden who just completely had free reign of the map this game. Mr. Meeseeks also having a good game, pretty much just by extension, where, you know, his Arc Warden's being relieved of pressure because he's just running around battle trancing on a 0 reactive armor stacks Timber. So there's some misunderstandings about how you want to play the game and the kind of role that your hero is fulfilling in these players. We saw it a little bit, we saw it a lot actually last week as well when we were playing reverse captains mode, where when you're playing these heroes that don't typically fit into within the role you're playing them in, you need to adapt. So we saw that mostly in the Sven with his Echo Saber purchase, something like a Drums of Endurance into maybe a Solar Crest or a Force Staff, or even just, you know, BKB for yourself to allow yourself to teamfight freely. Fits that role of a position free and an initiator and a bulky frontliner more than what you are doing with the Echo Saber, because the Echo Saber is just doubling down on that physical damage burst, and your physical damage is covered by the Slark, and your burst is covered by this Lena Skywrath. Literally all your supports do is burst heroes, right? So that's not exactly a part of your lineup that is lacking. Gonna take this opportunity between games to crack open a can of Boomer Monster. I was gonna try and come up with like a fake slogan for Monster Energy, but I couldn't think of anything on the fly. Anyway, players are in the lobby. I reckon it's time to get started, fellas. All random deathmatch, a mode we've not played yet, so I'm excited to see how this one goes. One of the cool things that Valve added to all random deathmatch is that, whoa, okay, that was that was interesting, but they made it so when you die, because you need to reallocate your skill points when you're assigned a new hero, they made it so when you die, your next hero sits in base sleeping, and they allowed you to assign your skill points before you respawn. So what are we seeing? So we're seeing Antichrist with a Spectre, and this is one of those really interesting things where you're probably not gonna like have 0 deaths this game, right? Like, you're just not gonna not die all game. So you have to play Spectre early, but you also have to build like non-Spectre items to account for the fact that in a few minutes you're probably still not going to be playing Spectre. Faceless Void, you know, I mean, every hero is suffering from that similarly, but a hero like Faceless Void kind of has a better opportunity to spec into more specific items because first of all, you really want to live to see level 6. That's how you're going to get impact out of this random hero. Also because your hero is like difficult to kill. There are these heroes in Dota that rely on having specific methods of hero interaction in order to be killed. And Faceless Void is one of them, where you really need lockdown. So we might just see a situation where Mr. Ogre gets ahead on net worth early, and he, you know, is going to just be playing this Faceless Void like it's just another random game. It's just another regular game of Dota. And we might just see that the Radiant lineup doesn't get the ability to deal with it. You can compensate for that with net worth, which means
30 seconds to battle.
that the way you allocate your net worth in this mode is like very layered, just in how you attempt to compensate for the way you want to play and the way you have to play, because there's that gap between the way you want to play and where you want to be pushing an advantage, but the way you have to play where a lot of your net worth might go down the bin if you buy an item that's bad with a hero that you random. Universal Healthcare, he's going to level Boulder level 1, but he doesn't actually use it to cancel the channel from Addy Sim. Fortunately, Shackles level 1 aren't that good anyway, so doesn't really have too much of an... So that level 1 skirmish not going to have much particular impact on the way this game goes. And occasionally Lucky taking this Crystal Maiden mid into a Zeus. So he's got that Drum of Endurance queued up. I believe I mentioned that item earlier as one of those, relatively generically good items. If we go through what everyone's playing, we've got Midgetsu and Mars going for level 1 Bulwark, so perhaps not totally familiar with the hero. That's okay, it is a random game mode, so you kind of expect that not everyone's going to be totally familiar with their heroes. Geez, Universal Healthcare now dropping low early. He took, I believe it was like 3 tower hits. But now with the Rolling Boulder and the Salve, I believe this is going to be enough to pick off Addy Sim. There's actually a really large move speed advantage here. And I think if he did a better job of attack moving, maybe that could have been a kill, but... So we've got a Brewmaster on Stealth Soldier. There's a Lycan for Killer Jack, but he's taken it off lane. I would rather see Killer Jack take the Lycan mid lane, and then that way you can build up an early net worth advantage with the Lycan, and you can still buy an item like the drums, which is still going to be effective on that hero. Wow, Mystic's really getting a big XP advantage here, but occasionally Lucky really taking these traits to the next level, but perhaps taking them to a level that he can't compete there. Perhaps taking them to a level that he can't actually handle, as Mr. Meeseeks is going to get that final zap on him to pick him off. Oh, and I just remembered that he's going to respawn as a different hero. Even though that's what I've been talking about for the last 5 minutes. I completely forgot to point out that now he's just a different hero. He's playing Mirana, and now you're playing Mirana, and oh, doesn't feel that good having a Null Talisman as Mirana, unfortunately. Bracer and Wraith Bands are doing... Whoa! Nice Sacred Arrow! Who cares about the side lanes? Nice Sacred Arrow, occasionally Lucky. This man is looking like he's on a roll tonight. Jesus! Who is this guy? He's out of his mind. Meeseeks? These guys are getting some pretty good heroes, man. Void Spirit from Meeseeks? He's going to get a bit more value of that Null Talisman now. So Wraith Band and Bracer are, I'd say... Oh, geez. The range creep dies just before the arrow connects with Meeseeks there. I don't know if that was... We can debate whether that was calculated or not, but whether it is calculated or not doesn't matter, because either way it's a good play. Either he gets the range creep secured with the arrow, or he gets big damage onto Meeseeks. And you'll see that Valve are a bit iffy with the way Spectate... Oh, geez, is this going to be a kill for Mr. Meeseeks? Occasionally Lucky's dropping pretty low. Not quite going to be enough. Both players are running out of regen, it seems like. But you'll see that Valve are a bit iffy with the way Spectator mode works with these obscure game modes where... Oh no, it has been updated. I was looking at the last hits earlier and I saw Zeus was still there, even though the Zeus wasn't in the game anymore. But no, Zeus is actually... The Zeus icon has been updated to Void Spirit. And now top lane has... Venomancer died. AA died. I didn't realize those heroes were even in the game, because I've been focusing so much on mid lane. Mr. Ogre, jeez, he's low. One more attack from Universal Healthcare there could have done it. What respawns are we seeing? We're seeing Mugetsu now from the Slark into AA, from Mars into AA, now into Slark. And Sim from Shadow Shaman to Venomancer, now into Weaver.
Tranquilly.
Oh geez, Mr. Mystics for the DD double damage rune middle. But occasionally Lucky actually just doing a good enough job of trading that Mr. Mystics isn't going to be able to build up too big of a lead with it here. Another good arrow as well, I didn't point out. Although, maybe hold alt to see the tower range there, Lucky. Mr. Meeseeks, he is the player with a bottle here, so he's going to be able to take advantage of the bounty rune spawns.
Earth's bounty.
Yes.
What? What? There's no way. There's no way that was intentional. There's no way he meant to hit him from that far away.
With honor.
Your cause meets my effect.
Please, someone clip that arrow. That was so sick. Oh my god. He does pay the price for style, but... Ah, jeez. That arrow is so insane. It looked like he just threw it out on a whim, and oh my god, Tinker. This is not a hero you want to get. This is where, you know, we think about the philosophy of what kind of heroes you might want to get in all-random deathmatch. And Tinker, geez, we're getting death spotted now. But I want to talk about this Tinker, because Tinker is one of those heroes where you buy very specific items that work a very specific way and interact a very specific way with his toolkit. And in all-random deathmatch, you don't get to compensate for that. So Tinker isn't a hero that you really get to take full. You get to use the full potential of. So respawns, we see Gangu with Necrophos, and Stealth Soldier with Legion Commander. But Antichrist still hasn't died on the Spectre, so maybe they're just gonna go for the no deaths carry strat. Either team, they're just gonna do everything they can to make sure their carries never die. That would be kind of fucking sick. I kind of want to see that now. You know, Glimmer Cape, Solar Crest. It's not like it's undoable if you just take that extra step towards coordination. Neutral items come out now as we hit the 7-minute mark. And damn, Royal Jelly is one of my favorites, especially on Faceless Void and Void Spirit. Man, how fucking good is Royal Jelly? Very entertaining game so far. Occasionally Lucky does get to take advantage of the rearm TP scroll, but oh man, a kill top lane is Adisim. Not going to be playing Weaver for much longer, as he is about to respawn with a different hero, and we can see what they're going to respawn into. That's right, I mentioned this earlier, but I didn't actually consider it as part of the spectator experiences. We can see beforehand that Addy Sim's going to respawn into Phoenix, and occasionally Lucky getting a kill onto Meeseek's middle lane. He's going to respawn into Morphling now. That's... Addy Sim says he lost his boots. Meeseek says he also lost his boots, but I can see boots in your inventory. Can I pause? I can't pause. I would like to discuss this with...
Dire should look to their middle tower.
Look, I'd like to discuss this with the players and see, try and figure out what's happening, but I'm unable to pause, so... Look, the call I would have made anyway is just to play on, you know? I don't really want to have to compensate for Valve allowing this game mode to have such a bug of that sort in the game, but I would like to get a more detailed account of that from the players. Maybe Meeseeks has rebought these boots? I'm not sure. But Addy Sim is definitely missing boots. But I can't tell you if he had boots before, though. I wasn't...
Dire's courier has been killed.
Yeah, I don't know if he had boots before. He claims he did. I don't see any reason to lie. Nice kill into the courier from Universal Healthcare, though. Jeez. These obscure Dota 2 game modes, man. Just years of neglect. Just years of neglect. And why is Stealth Soldier holding one of Mr. Ogre's healing cells? That's funny.
If our enemies must burn, they will.
Yeah, I wonder why he's holding one of Mr. Ogre's healing cells.
Go on, get out of there.
A Haunt on the top lane is gonna result in a pickoff onto Sim, who's gonna respawn into Luna now, and occasionally lucky Mr. Meeseeks interacting mid lane. Meeseeks morphs into the Tinker and then casts Magic Machine. Wow. That's pretty funny. Oh! What? What are you doing? He died to the... He died to the Morphling. He died to the Morphling's March of Machines. What? He bought a Soul Ring and a Boots of Travel, so he was actually attempting to compensate for the way Tinker works in ARDM. It was healthcare. I mean, good try. If that was any hero other than Morphling, that probably could have worked. And occasionally unlucky respawns into Chen, and he says, "Don't buy while you're dead." Ah, okay. So it seems like purchasing items while you are dead in all random deathmatch results in the items disappearing. God, this is... God, fucking Sherlock Holmes is on the case, fellas. What can I say? Couple of lucky bashes coming down to Migetsu here, whose pounce is on cooldown. So between Chrono and Eclipse, they will get the pick. It is an Eclipse with level 1 Lucent Beam, though, so I can't imagine that did very much damage. I'm too busy just... I'm sorry that I'm missing so many kills, but I'm just in awe of the way, like, this mode even operates. It's so weird to watch. What hero are we getting for Mugetsu now? Clinks? Oh, he's going Aghanim Scepter. Yeah, that's a fun one. It used to be an ARDM. Aghanim Scepter was a bit of a risk, because you might respawn into a hero that didn't have an Aghanim Scepter. But one of the patches, one of the more recent patches in the game actually introduced an Aghanim Scepter to every hero. I think that was that the post-TI patch from 2019 that introduced an Ags for every hero? So there's no risk of ever spawning to a hero that doesn't have an Ags. And now, Gungu69 taking advantage of that Reaper Scythe is going to get a pick onto Sim, who's going to respawn into the Wraith King here, distributing his skill points into... pretty evenly between Wraithfire Blast and Mortal Strike. Ooh, if Stealth Soldier can get a kill with Jewel on Legion Commander, I'm pretty sure that damage is going to carry over into his next life on another hero. Ooh. The boys understanding how Morph's ability works, you know, healing while he's low on Agi. A roll from Universal Self-Care onto Stealth Soldier is going to kick him into the tower range. Now Haunt for the Antichrist is going to help them get the pick off. Mr. Ogre here, he time walks in, but he doesn't have Chronosphere. Rayfire Blast is going to come out onto occasionally lucky. Hand of God comes out, but it's not going to be enough to save his life. Looking like a 1-for-1 trade between the teams here. As occasionally lucky's going to respawn into Enigma. And who died? Stealth Soldier is going to respawn into Bounty. So unfortunately, I really would have liked to see him get a kill with the Jewel. That could have been really funny to see him respawn with like 10 extra damage, but it wasn't meant to be. Is it even worth showing the net worth in this game? Maybe like buyback status is a better indicator of... I'll keep it on hero level. Because XP is kind of that one factor that's relevant among all heroes. I think that gives the best idea of who's strongest at the moment is the hero level rather than the net worth. Dire find their last neutral item while Radiant still have 2 more to go.
hope for Dire's middle tower.
Occasionally Lucky playing the Enigma game, using those Eidolons to pressure the mid lane tower. He is throwing the second set of Eidolons away though. So not really going to get the chance to duplicate again for another 20 seconds. Bottom laner Magnetized for Universal Healthcare is going to get a pick off onto Addison. He's respawning now into a Pugna. I don't know if oh geez, keeping track of who's going to be respawning to what hero is going to be tricky after some big 5v5 team fight, huh?
Is in danger.
And it looks like the no death strat on our carry heroes is working. Universal Healthcare has actually not died yet either.
Bottom tower is
So
under
well
attack.
done to Universal Healthcare. But yeah, Neva, occasionally Lucky gets a pick onto Meeseek's mid lane with the black hole. He managed to pick him before he morphed strength. So perhaps Mr. Meeseek's, it's not like black hole is like an unreactable spell, right? Meeseek's just not respecting the threat of that black hole. Now Universal Healthcare, he's gonna roll in and he's gonna kick Addy Sim away, but he will get chronoed now by Mr. Ogre, who, as I was saying earlier, has not died yet. Neither team's carry heroes have died, so... Oh, but Antichrist is moving into a Dagon, so he actually is anticipating death. Antichrist is anticipating that at some time during this game, he is going to die, and when he respawns, he wants to have a Dagon. God, that's so silly. Meeseek respawns into Death Prophet, and he's immediately going to TP bottom and pop the level 2 Exorcism. Could this be the death that Antichrist was anticipating? Look how much just residual damage the Ghost did to Gangu 69, while Meeseek is chasing the Spectre. Universal Healthcare, after respawning from the Chrono, is an Omni Knight now. He gets you laying into Meeseek with the Clinks, and Mr. Ogre is going to jump in and try and get some bashes onto Migetsu.
Is in danger.
Mid tower is only Enigma and Pugger. There doesn't seem to be too much threat of a kill there, but as I say that, it does happen. And a kill onto Migetsu on the Clinks now as well, so Mr. Meeseek's doing a great job there of taking advantage of the Death Prophet
Dire's top tower is
that he
in
got.
danger.
So we're just seeing now Oracle, Queen of Pain, Viper, Warlock. That's a good one. Warlock's a good hero because you know you don't need much net worth. Just take advantage of that XP that you've accrued for your other few lives. And so I believe the way Random Deathmatch works is that this is your remaining lives. So when you get to 0, if your team has no more remaining lives and you die, you just won't respawn again. You don't immediately lose like you might think, but your team is gonna like be permanently down a player. Meeseek's now getting involved in this fight bottom where Mugetsu with the Scream of Pain is gonna take down the Death Prophet. And the Shadow Strike now slowing down Stealth Soldier. Mugetsu and the Queen of Pain trying to get the pick off onto Stealth Soldier there, but the Magic Wand is going to save him. The Rock does get dropped from Addy Sim on the Warlock. That's a pretty long cooldown, unfortunately, but hey, the Faceless Void is still alive, so that's good. The only hero who hasn't died yet is Mr. Ogre on this Faceless Void, and he's gone into a BKB now. Another pretty generically good item. Whoa, Chronosphere's up again already, and now the Fatal Bonds come out. Mr. Ogre laying in with the Musk of Madness, but because he's going that BKB build, he is a little bit low on damage. He definitely needs to have his team do a lot of the follow-up damage in a situation like that. However, a good roll from Mr. Meeseeks. Oh my god! What is that black hole? That was onto 5 people! Occasionally lucky 5-man black hole. Unfortunately, it's not going to result in the team wipe he was hoping for, as the Dire Heroes actually are just going to massacre the rest of his team. But wow, what an incredible black hole. But for Dyer to be able to withstand that, definitely demonstrates some good team fight prowess. And Mr. Meeseeks with the Rolling Thunder, actually, I'd say that was probably some of the biggest. That was probably the second biggest impact I saw in that fight. Was easily the roll. So well done, Mr. Meeseeks, who's going E-Blade. Actually, that's a pretty fun. That's a pretty fun item.
Radiant's bottom tower
I like that item. I don't know if it's good, but it's fun for sure. So what's Addy Sims on Grim? We got a Kunkka. We got an OD.
tower is under attack.
I mean, this is a pretty good OD build, apart from the soaring. The boat's going to come out, but these heroes are pretty low on damage. I like to see occasionally Lucky Man up here. I think occasionally Lucky probably hasn't played OD since they changed the way the int stacks work. But he does get the pick off. He does get the 2 for nil, so no worries. The Dire heroes are now moving aggressively onto this middle tier 1. They are going to take it down. Mr. Ogre has finished his BKB, now working towards an Ag, so this is good because these are good Void items that are still generically good on a hero you might respawn on. Unfortunately, Antichrist gets another pretty unlucky hero as he respawns into a TA, a hero whose items do not complement.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
There's a Bristleback on the Dire now, but it's Mr. Meeseeks on this Pango at level 15 who's looking to get this fight started top. Roll is going to hit Universal Healthcare for all. He's going to miss the follow-up onto Gangu, who's playing PA now. This is... God, this is really a lot to keep track of. The Will-O-Wisp is going to come from Addy Sim because there's just a cuddle in this game now for some reason. The Mana Leak comes out onto Antichrist and he does not feel comfortable moving. He tries to get a return kill onto Addy Sim, but he won't get it. Occasional Lucky coming in is going to get a lot of damage onto Meeseeks to the point where he does die, and Mr. Ogre, wow. Nice chrono onto 2. Very important when you're playing Void into OD that you do hit him with the chrono so he can't save his teammates, and that's exactly what happens, although with the Blink Dagger he will get an extra kill onto Addy Sim. A good chrono, but occasionally Lucky just playing around these heroes is getting very effectively. Man, look how much damage he does. Mr. Ogre, he's popped the Mask of Madness, so he's not going to be able to time walk away. Occasionally Lucky, he's getting low, he will Magic Wand back up, but it's not going to be enough. His Killer Jack with the Bristleback's going to take him down. Universal Healthcare for all now is laying into this Bristle, but he's a PL with nothing but Tranquil Boots and Earn. They will get the kill though with the help of Mugetsu, who's on the Tiny now. He's going to be finishing up that Axe. So Tiny Axe is a fun one too. Far out. The way every team fight is completely different is really entertaining. Mr. Meeseeks now respawns into Brood. We've got Never Lucky's gonna be he's gonna be Clockwork. Top lane we're gonna see Meeseeks going for the play between these two heroes top, as he definitely has a big XP advantage and a big item advantage as Universal Healthcare. At this point probably wants to die because his PL is just not really capable of doing much at all, but on the other hand, you know, that is a valuable life. So okay, what do we see for Dire now? Arc Warden and Leshrac? So the no the no death strat is dead. Everyone's died once. There's no one carry that's just going to live through to the end of the game. Come on, Mugetsu. Let's see the Tiny Eggs. Yeah, let's see it. Oh, Killer Jack's in the cogs. Check out how much damage that is with the hookshot from Occasion Lucky. That's going to be a pretty easy kill. Pause. Pause, 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 pause. I don't know what that fucking button... What is this? Mr. Ogre disconnecting from the game, unfortunately, there. I feel like a broadcaster should be able to pause, but... So, okay, this is like, those little, like, trivia things they used to put up, right? I can't see it myself, I guess. Maybe it's because it's paused. Man, who remembers when on Valve streams they would do, like, you know, those little trivia pop-ups? Or it wasn't on Valve streams necessarily, just, you know, those older Dota tournaments. They always had someone in there doing the little trivia, sharing stats. That was fun. Dire. That's pretty cool because they get a bit of synergy there where the tiny Mugetsu builds into that Ags, and occasionally Lucky respawns into Clockwork, and then suddenly Cogs into the Tree Volley is actually like a really good way to get a lot of AoE damage off in like a small area. You know, just pick someone off really easily. That's really fun. That's really cool. So Mr. Ogre, he can't tell me if he's reconnecting or not. And I saw he was in the Discord earlier, but he's not right now. Or he's been moved. Why is he in the Scuffcast channel? Hello? Oh, I've not got the right audio settings. I just want to make sure you're alright. I'm not getting any response, unfortunately. Stream. And I've not gotten any response on Steam messages either. But he's still on the line. And he's still online on Discord too. Or he was in game before, but now he's not.
A doodle for the ages.
God. And so both teams already down by half their lives each. They start at 40, I think. So 19 and 18 respectively. So it's so weird to think that this game is like even, because it's by a completely different metric than what we're all used to measuring Dota success at. Alright, Mr. Ogre's looking to make his way back into the game soon. I hope you will find this all-random deathmatch as entertaining as I do, because Jesus Christ, this is a fucking roller coaster. Man, we see there's an Ember Spirit now.
I admit nothing but my sadness that you're gone.
So what other items? Maybe there's some. I'm sure we've neglected a couple of the item choices by players. Ganku69 is going for a similar Ags build to Mugetsu. Unfortunately, PA Ags is an item that relies on having other items, because PA Ags relies on you getting kills in order to reset your cooldowns. But, you know, if you want to kill people with PA, you need, like, you know, Rapier and stuff. So Gangu's probably going to want to die before he gets that item, so you can make proper use of it. For the Dire, Stealth Soldier's also going for an Ags build. Addy Sim's also going for an Ags build. Everyone's just building freaking Ags. Except Killer Jack for a pretty interesting choice, buying Yule's Scepter. That's a cool one. I mean, Yule's is a nice, well-rounded item. Not every hero can make proper use of the Tornado to set up their abilities. Like, Leshrac obviously has an advantage of Split Earth, but not every hero can really take advantage of that. Not every hero necessarily takes advantage of the Dispel. That's more reliant on what your enemy's heroes are. But every hero likes mana regen, and every hero really likes move speed. So, a little bit of something for everyone in this item. Me6, he did have the E-Blade in his quick buy, but he's gone back for the BKB now. Check out Broodmother in the portrait down here, just freaking out. Jeez, even down here. She is just freaking out, huh? Who's BKB? Who even has BKB? Oh. This Arc Warden has BKB. Who's playing Arc Warden, Mr. Ogre? Man, these players sometimes. The Dota 2 league is for legal reasons. Yes, legally we are considered a babysitting service. That does make me a caregiver. We are getting our JobKeeper taken away from us by the Morrison government. I don't know enough about childcare to make this joke. Look, I mean, at this point, how long has it been? I'm gonna give it one more minute, I think, because we can't afford to wait so long for one player. I'll alert Mr. Ogre.
What the just happened?
It's got to have at least been 4 minutes at this point. So 5 minutes should be fine. I'll ask if the Radiant want to, you know, if the Radiant don't want to unpause, that's fine. Oh boy. First to 10? What's that in reference to? Alright, should we get started?
Это такая душка!
Mr. Ogre will be back, but I don't want to keep these guys waiting. It's you know, there's only so much we can reasonably expect to wait for. This is definitely something I failed to consider when I was working on the league, is pause time. Anyway, we do see Meeseeks die in the Broom Lover, so that's not a hero we're going to be seeing again over the course of the game. The Tree Volley is going to do a lot of damage with the Stealth Soldier. In fact, it's going to be the thing that picks him off. So we're looking at Naga Siren, Furion, Centaur, and Sven.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And Radiant are going to be looking to take this top tower. So net worth's going to go. Net worth is going to even itself back up. And Radiant are going to get a bit of an edge in terms of the lives department. And geez, these respawn times are getting longer and longer. These players surely have a lot of time to think about their skill builds. Even if it does become moot eventually, where, you know, you just max everything out. Although you do have to pick talents still, so that definitely seeks deliberation. Mr. Meeseeks is going to TP to the top tier 2 into 4 heroes without any backup. In fact, his Naga Siren, who would be his best bet at staying alive in this situation, has gone to farm the triangle, so he's going to immediately die again. Maybe he just doesn't want to play Sven. You know, that could definitely be a factor in that decision there.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
So it's a silencer now, I can see on the minimap. Adisim on the Underlord still farming the bottom lane. Getting pretty close to that Ags, you know, a few more minutes and he'll have it. Occasionally Lucky's now going for that Ags. Universal Healthcare is going for a Maelstrom, so Ember specific in its benefits, but also really, you know, one of those, a relatively generically good item. Hopefully we'll see Mr. Ogre make it back soon.
Do it with flair.
I mean, perhaps I should consider making game 2 not worth double points, but
Tower is under attack.
a Global Silence comes out in the mid lane. Mr. Me6 probably doesn't want to die a third time in a row here, but he does eventually run into 3 heroes and he is going to get taken down here. However, slowly, actually, Song of the Siren does come from Killer Jack. He is going to allow Mr. Me6 to run away, but a nice Ice Path from Antichrist with a Sleight of Fist. Will they be able to get the pick off? The Sleight isn't quite enough. Ooh, but with a Remnant, Gangu's going to get the pick off onto the PA, and now an ensnare from Naga onto the PA. He's actually going to get the blink out. Wow. All this without the clockwork from the Radiant. Pinging out Universal Healthcare now. So you want to get this pick. Stampede's going to be committed, but they're not going to find him. He'll TP back to base, and he's going to TP back with full mana, and now Clockwork is approaching from the back line. Radiant looking like they want to organize another team fight, although Antichrist getting picked off now. Occasionally Lucky's going to blink in and cogs, but he's trapped his Jakiro in there with him. Ember now in with the Slight, and he's got Killer Jack surrounded. He's going to die. And he's now popping the Dark Rift on the Underlord. It's not going to be in time to save his Centaur though. As Dire's lives, you know, getting lost one at a time. So Missy playing Darkseer, the old Morbid Mask Darkseer. You know you love to see it.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Dire
attack.
are running away with this game. I can't say how much of it is due to the lack of a fifth player.
Under attack.
I'm legitimately not totally convinced that Mr. Ogre's impact would have been big, but he does have the most net worth on his team
Boom, there it goes.
in his defense.
Dire's
A
middle
hook
tower
shot
has fallen.
onto Mr. Meeseeks. He's gonna pop that overclock on the charge he's gonna pop the overclock on the clock in order to refresh his hook shot. Try saying that 10 times fast, or even 1 time fast. But he will pay the price for his over-aggressiveness, as occasionally Lucky does get taken down now. He's going to respawn into techies! Oh my god, this man has techies. I didn't even... That's one of those things where you might even assume that techies isn't even in the game. Like, hey, it's all-rounded deathmatch. You know, what are the chance you random? What's the chance you random techies? Oh god! Oh fuck! I randomed techies, or maybe the Dire are
Scanning for
gonna be a bit
enemies.
more afraid of it than the Radiant here. Stealth Soldier now playing Shadow Fiend. Here you have to build souls on, so not ideal. Night Stalker for Meeseeks. God, such a long respawn time for occasionally Lucky here. But I mean, this is a legit techies build. It's the thing. This is like, yeah, this is a legit techies build. Fuck me. Oh no. This man is at full strength. His power level is unmatched in this game, actually. Damn, check out that fucking remote mine damage. Oh no. Look at him just immediately set up 3 mines in the mid lane. Oh, Gangu. Oh wow, 4 heroes grouping up, killing the Underlord bottom. Nicely done. Gangu's gonna respawn into Elder Titan.
What have we here?
Bounty runes spawn, and it's looking like it could be a 4-0 in favor of the Radiant, although no one's taking these top ones. In the mid lane, occasionally Lucky is building up the remote mines, so Dire, beware of pushing in your mid lane. Someone's microing Mr. Ogre on the Prophet in order to take advantage of some split pushing. Occasionally Lucky now will be the one to claim the bounties. Look how fast he runs. Jeez, he's got a lot of move speed. A Fiend's Grip onto Gangu is going to take down the PA, but he's going to get taken down in return by Occasionally Lucky, as well as Stealth Soldier on the SF. Now, Mr. Meeseeks and Addy Sim, it's down to them to defend the base.
Dire's bottom tower is no more.
Bottom tower dies residually to creeps.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Captured in the flame.
Nice double root. Into a double ice path, into a double avalanche, into the Dagon, into the fire remnants.
Killing spree. Double kill. Dire's
Dire now suddenly only with 4 lives remaining. And with an 11k gold deficit, you know. This game might just be on its last legs here as LeJack on the puck's gonna go down.
Unbelievable! Unbelievable! Dire's middle barracks are under attack.
Oh geez, Dire's just all dead, huh?
Dire's middle barracks is full.
So no chance of defending this, and all lanes are open to being hit. 1 life remaining for the Dire. So when these heroes die now, it's gonna be permanent. I think. I think Puck will respawn and use up their last life. No, not quite. Okay, so they got 1 more life remaining on the Dire. 1 more life remaining for the Dire heroes. Killer Jack's gonna use Spell Steal to get Macropire. That's a good one for Rubik, for sure. Occasionally, like he's setting up mines in the Dire base, though. Ooh, a power shot. They do want to get the pick off onto the techies, but they're scared to run forward. Definitely justified in their
Radiant's
fear.
top tower is under attack.
I mean, eventually someone might just forget that those mines are there and run in. You might even see like a lasso
Tower is under attack.
into the mines, perhaps. It could be good. That could be good.
What are you giggling about? Radiant's top tower is under attack. The Dire scan, on the hunt for Radiant forces.
I know I said Mr. Ogre was coming back, but I do feel justified in my decision to make the game play on now that we see he is very much not back. Double rupture from Stealth Soldier with that Agons on the Bloodseeker. It's going to come out into the Bloodseeker and the Tiny, but this net worth is looking insurmountable as these Radiant heroes. They're pretty bulky. Gangu will get taken down by Mr. Meeseeks here. And perhaps we get to as well as the Power Shot on him. And Echo Slam's going to come out, but it's not going to do any damage. Will get slowly tickled down by the Focus Fire. And they'll barely miss the kill onto the Wind Ranger there. As she gets the Ghost Scepter off, but they will get the find onto the Earthshaker. Aren't they supposed to run out of lives? I'm pretty sure that's how I remember Random Deathmatch working, is that you run out of lives, but maybe, maybe they do need to respawn? I don't know. The GG comes out from Edison anyway, so we might just see the game end here and now. Might just verify that on the, that's the way it works on the Dota 2 wiki anyway. Oh yeah, now they're at 0 lives, yeah. And there's no hero, you can see there's no hero in base for the Earthshaker and the Rubik to respawn into. So yeah, they're just permanently out of lives, I believe. Mr. Meeseeks on the Wind Ranger though does do a good job of getting the Radiant heroes out of his base. Surviving on just a speck of HP. Ah, yeah, we see it now. Addy Sim on the ES is just going to be permanently sitting at 1 second remaining. Whereas Radiant, they've still got 12 lives. So Dire heroes They have to win. Okay, Troll Warlord Ags is really unfortunate. So,
Every coin helps.
in order for Dire to win, they need to win 2 team fights, including buybacks. So without buybacks, that's like 3 team fights, or 2 team fights and some pickoffs. But they also need to do it 2v5. And at a 11k gold deficit. But that 11k gold deficit includes the gold on their heroes that they just don't have. Stealth Soldier's just gonna die here to Maledict. Me6 will go for the focus fire into occasionally lucky, but the battle hunger is gonna reduce the damage here, and they are microing Mr. Ogre. Ooh, check out that fucking just dirty cast. Check out that lockdown. And so when all heroes run out of lives, and yeah, the Ancient explodes, okay. So look, Radiant did win legitimately, and I'm not sure how much impact Mr. Ogre's DC really had. But look, I'm considering taking action and making that game only worth 1 point. I know... Okay, well, the way I'm thinking about it is I can't make it worth no points. Radiant did win, and they did earn points. But... Nah, it's worth 2 points. Sorry, guys, it's all or nothing. I need to be firm with the way things work here. So congratulations to the Radiant players for earning 2 more points tonight. Do we have any repeat players on between the games tonight? So who won game 1? Game 1 was a Radiant victory. So we can see, occasionally Lucky was on both teams. Congratulations, occasionally Mugetsu was on both teams. And is that it? So yeah, occasionally Lucky and Mugetsu both earning 4 points each. Well done, fellas. Next week is week 7. No more double points, I'm afraid. But I'm sure we'll have another opportunity for players to catch up in the future. Week 7. So we're actually beginning to move into that final stretch where we're definitely in the later weeks of the league. Points updates will come out soon. Highlights will come out soon. You know how it all is. I hope you enjoyed week 6 where we played for double points. This was week 6 of the Redacted Esports Club University Dota League Community 2. I've been Tree Smell. Thanks for watching, guys.